Hey guys, today we'll be talking about the intuition behind the combinations formula. Combination, okay? So we know that we represent MCK as an M factorial upon M minus K factorial into k factorial. Now if you are watching this series, then in the last video we talk about the intuition behind the mpk, and where I told you m factorial upon m minus k factorial means what, right? So it was like this: if the first k positions are fixed and corresponding to which last m minus k positions are performing their full permutations, like the full m minus k factorial uh, counting would be there, but we know it's overcount. We didn't want it to give freedom to this part of the equation. So when we divided by the m minus k factorial, what we did is that we counted all of those m minus k factorial only once. Okay, so this division cancel out the all the permutation we given to the m minus k position, and this part were counted only once, and which is right. It was never destined to calculate m minus k factorial times. Now in the next part, what in the means in the next remaining permutation, what we can say, that the first k elements, again there would be some combination, say a b c d f. The rest of the m minus k elements will again perform their total permutations, and they will generate excess of count, which is wrong thing. So the division of m minus k factorial again took care of that part and got it cancelled. So these were calculated only once. Okay, and say here it was a b c f d, right? So you got the idea. A b c f d calculated once, and the corresponding this rest of the useless or the overcount calculation were taken care by m minus k factorial division. So again here a b c d f got counted correctly, and the rest of these excess of calculation got taken care by the division term, right? It's as good as saying, if I am having 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So when I am saying divide 11 by 5, what does it mean? It's mean 1 2 3 4 5, group the 5 elements, divide by 5, group the next remaining non overlapping disjoint element, divide them by 5, and this is 5. So here we took the 5 elements and we wanted the 5 elements. So our group we got the one group of 5 elements. Okay, we again got the second group of 5 elements, but here we got only one, and what was our requirement? 5. So we were able to get only one out of 5, and it would so this we were able to form the one group over here. So what this will sum to? 2.2. So similarly, please try to fill the above equation which I had wrote. Okay, so if I want to give a simple example, if I am having element a b c d, and out of these four elements I want to I want to take the two elements, and the what does the matter now? The order is mattering. So a b, now see, I want to take only two elements, but I'm whenever I'm writing m factorial, I am taking the rest of the elements also. So c d, or what could be the other combination? I am fixing a b, here I am having d and c. Okay, so these two factorial combinations got generated extra, but I am having, when I am dividing by 2 factorial, what I did, this cd and this dc I counted only once. So what really mattered is the position of these first two elements. Later the combination, the other combination in the m factorial could be B, C, A, D. So we know only B and C matter. A and D's permutation are not required, and the other could be D, A. So these are the two factorial permutations, and when we divide by 2 factorial, what we did is that we took care of this. Okay, so these got cancelled with these 2 factorial, and we left with BC. So similarly, what we will get is that AB, BA, BC, CB, so and so. You got it right? Now, on the similar grounds, when I say MCK, what I really want is that I want the k elements, means the k elements first, the rest of the m minus k factorial would be there. Okay, m minus k factorial would be there, like when I'm saying m factorials. So what, how can I visualize this? I am keeping the first k elements constant, and the rest m minus k factorials are moving. But when I'm dividing by m minus k factorial, what I did, I took care of this, right? But now what can happen, there will be next k element, the same k elements that were here but in the different order. Say here we had a b c and the rest of the m minus k factorial combinations, then we will be here having a c b, rest of the m minus k factorial combination. So again, when we are dividing by m minus k factorial, we also remove this and count only acb. But in during this whole procedure, similarly we will be having b a c, b c a, c a b, c b a. So what is the final that I got? I got 6. But if you think in terms of combination, does the order matters? Does this ABC's order matter? No, not at all. So I need to divide by 3 factorial here to count this as only ones, right? Do you getting this? So in those this m factorial by m minus k factorial, the first positions had total freedom, so these 6 would have been also counted in this case. So in order to deal with them, we are dividing further by the k factorial. So what is done, what this did is that it first took the k elements, okay, gave them full freedom. Okay, sorry. Mm, I will take it from a pretty scratch. Okay. First we took the m elements. Okay, we gave them full freedom. Then we realized the mistake that the m minus k is creating the problem. So we divided by m minus k factorial, so that initial k position only had the freedom, right? We ignored the uh, freedom which were caused by the rest of the m minus k elements, so that we did the division. Now in the when we gave freedom to the first k position, what really happened is that a b c, after that a c b, right, and all those 6 cases, like I mean the k factorial cases were all counted separately. So to take them as a one thing, I divided by k factorial, right? So I hope you have got the intuition. If it's not there, tell me. I will try to make uh, a better video. If you have any doubt, okay, feel free to ask. Take care of your time and take care of yourself, guys. Okay, bye.